Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. Kalo na janati tava jananam. Kalo na janati tava samapanam. Drushto maya tava mahakara yogeshwara kala kala. Yogeshwara kala kala. Namaskaram. Namaskaram to everyone, wherever you are. Well, the situation, as all of you must be well informed already, but in many nations, if it's in many nations, the nations which do not seem to have the problem are not exempt, it will come to them. That's how it is. Well, United States is running ahead of everybody. India, to reach 100,000 infections with the lockdown on, it took 107 days to get to 100,000. But now in the last 3 days, we have crossed 100,000. So India, many states are slowly conceding that we are moving towards the community spread. That means at some point, almost nobody will be spared. Fortunately, for many reasons, the climate maybe to some extent, above all the food and lifestyles, the fatality rate in India is very low compared to any other nation on the planet. So there are many lessons to be learned from this, what keeps us alive in these kind of situations. But the hospitals in many states are getting absolutely overwhelmed. People are sleeping outside the hospitals, waiting for beds and dying there. People are dying in their vehicles, waiting for hospital beds. Oxygen cylinders are running short. Ventilators, of course, are short. Many heartrending stories all over the place. Many terrible stories. Well, India has tested over 12 million people till now and it's going on. United States, well, 150,000 new cases per day. This is not to be taken lightly. But unfortunately, with fancy ideas of freedom, people are still debating to mask or not to mask, to keep social distance or not. Whether this is all media fallacy or is this virus for real? How many more should die before you realize? Is our God capable of taking care of us or do we need a doctor? Debates are going on in 21st century. You need to understand your ignorance and your irresponsibility is not just about your life, it's going to hit every other life, particularly those who are vulnerable for some reason or the other. It's time to wake up. Well, to enforce a mask somewhere in Michigan, when a store owner requests a customer that he must wear mask in the small store. The customer stabs the store owner. Then the sheriff comes and shoots the customer, shoots him dead. Well, that's not a solution. There is no silver bullet to shoot the virus. You can shoot people. So it's very, very important we wake up to this and behave as a responsible generation of people who overcame this pandemic in a sensible manner without paying too heavy a price. It's getting late. Well, for the ladies, we have some good news, terrible news actually. They're killing over 100,000 minks in Spain, so you could get a free mink coat in the coming winter. And these are all the many terrible things we are doing. We are breeding animals to make coats for ourselves, we are breeding animals to eat. All right, we must eat and sustain ourselves, but I think we are doing everything in excess. This is the time to look at it. Animals are safe from the virus and we are not. We don't have to think in terms of… People keep asking me, Sadhguru, is the virus trying to teach a lesson to us? See, sun rises in the morning, it is not trying to teach a lesson to you, but it's up to you whether you learn or not. It's up to you whether you see clearly or not. So the virus may have no intention of teaching you a lesson, it just wants to survive. But every situation, if we are sensible human beings, is definitely a lesson. And this is a lesson we must learn, that we have been doing terrible things. Terrible means absolutely insanely terrible things in the name of our survival, our comfort, our fancy, our fashion, so many things. It's time to relook at everything. It's very important. This is a good time to relook at it. I am not saying stop eating meat, stop doing this, stop wearing mink coat or whatever nonsense you wear. But it's time to stop and look at it. What is really necessary for us, what is not? The most important thing necessary for us is that within ourselves, we are in a profound sense of experience and a pleasant sense of experience. Around us, we must be able to impact the world around us positively. This is all that matters to a human being. What you wear, all the fancy stuff, well, if it's available without too much nonsense, fine, enjoy it. But if we are doing too much rubbish towards our comfort, towards our fancy and fashion, it's time that we stop and look. Because we can't pay for all these things. We can't pay for life. That much we must understand. Well, I think you understand that when it comes to your life, but we have failed to understand this when it comes to all the other life. A man in Los Angeles said this, see, the wool was taken out of sheep in Australia. It was spun into a thread in India. It was woven into a cloth in England. It was stitched into a suit in Baltimore. And I bought this suit in Los Angeles on a credit card. I'm really impressed how I'm influencing so many lives without paying for it. Well, we are paying for it now with life. It's time to wake up. Well, yesterday, I have kind of unfolded a very significant process, still in its infancy or in its conception, But we have started the process. For Kala Bhairava, Kala means dark. Dark means empty. When I say dark means empty, if you want to see light, you must either be able to see the source of light or something that stops light and reflects. Otherwise, there can be as much light as you want here, but you cannot see it, because unless it falls on a surface and reflects, you cannot see it. Or you must be able to see the source. So Kala also means emptiness. Emptiness means endless possibilities, positive and negative, all kinds of possibilities. Emptiness means pregnant with possibilities. Well, possibilities both for the living and the dead. Unfortunately, the living have invested in ignorance and they think what is good for the dead is not good for them. The dead, of course, have no judgment. What is good for them happens, what is not good for them doesn't happen for them. They are quite agnostic about what is good and bad. It's only the living who constantly making this whole confusion of what is good and bad, what is light and darkness, all these struggles. So Kala Bhairava is means to be able to create a possibility which is both good for the living and the dead. Myself, in these last few years, since 1999 or let's say 2001 onwards, I've been too involved in serving the living, not paying enough attention to the dead. When I say too involved with the living are not always looking for the well-being of their life. The living are largely a diffused life. Most lives on the planet, human lives I'm saying, they're diffused. They don't even know what is life. If you say life, they think I'm talking about their fancy car. If you say life, they think I'm talking about their husband or wife. If you say life, they think I'm talking about their stupid profession that they're doing. I'm saying stupid because right now the world is running without your profession. So, human beings have become a diffused life. When you're diffused, you won't really light up anything much. So in that sense, trying to service the living a little overly makes your work and your focus a bit diffused because people keep on taking you into the drama of their life. Though in the last few years, maybe in the last 3 to 4 years, very consciously, I've been talking to all of you more about death than life, to a point some of the enlightened ones in Chennai why is Sadhguru all the time talking about death? He's become negative. Somebody else thinks I'm talking about my death. Think, is his health okay? Why is he talking so much about death? I'm talking about yours. I'm not trying to hasten it, I'm just reminding you. Well, many of you have matured in the last 3-4 years, you're able to look at death a little more non-serious way. You're able to laugh about it, which is a good sign. Because Kala Bhairava means You want to create a powerful energy which sustains life, but the background is death. This is not my intention or my idea, this is the way life is made. Right now, the life may be on, very effervescent, but the background is always death. If you forget the background, you will become a silly life. Right now, this virus, different people are calling it by different names, so I stick to the virus. Definitely creating a strong death background to all of us. So yesterday, we unfolded a process more within myself. This is silly for me, I'm 63 years of age, now once again I'm getting pregnant. Because this is going to be a hard baby to deliver. And the full process will take 4,356 days. That is nearly 12 years. Full solar cycle. That means the real baby, the full-blown baby, will get delivered on 21st of June, 2032. But I will get it off me probably after a few months, and Kala Bhairava can be handled as a marsupial life, that you get it out of the womb in a few months and then nurture it for the next full cycle, solar cycle, which is 4,356 days. So, he will come out fully on 21st of June, 2032, that is the summer solstice day. Tomorrow, we are laying the foundation for the Kala Bhairava temple, tomorrow being Amavasya or the new moon day, we are laying. Well, time is a dimension which allows us to live here. Time rules our life and death. Essentially, it's time. What you call as life is time, what you call as death is time. So Kala Bhairava involves both. Well, death usually brings terror into people's minds. That is because your mind is a collage of life. A collage means bits and pieces gathered, not a complete perception of the nature of life. If you have a perception of life, it is inevitable. You would see life and death dancing together all the time. But because you are an assembled collage, with whatever nonsense came your way in terms of social influences, education, and all the other silly things you do, which you think is fun. I'm not against those silly things, but if you are adding a lot of tidbits to your life to make it rich, I am 100% with you. But if you're getting tangled in all tidbits, you are not worth being a human being, the peak of evolution on this planet. No, you don't represent the peak of evolution on this planet, that's all I'm saying. Well, what is palatable and what is not palatable for people is, why is this Guru so terrible? Lot of people are asking these questions, why is Sadhguru so terrible, always poking us, always doing this? Well, when we are living, why is he talking about death? Two cockroaches met. in the drain pipes of McMinnville. And they were nibbling on some filth. And one of them asked the other, "Have you been to the new coffee store that's opened up? Coffee shop that's opened up in the town? The floors are polished so smooth, you can see your own antenna. And the walls are so neatly painted and smooth, not a crack. We cannot even climb upon it. And the place even smells of flowers." The other one said, "Stop it, can't you see I'm eating?" So what is palatable for you and what is not depends who you are and what you've made out of yourself. If you're a life, a genuine life, a living life, not a bunch of stupid thoughts, emotions and drama that you have created for yourself, then you will admire Kala Bhairava because he dances with life and death in equal proportion. But if you look at him from one side, you will be terrorized. But how to create terror without being terrorist is the challenge right now for me. Because a fear is not a positive… fear or terror is not a positive emotion. But forever, people have been God-fearing, parent-fearing, teacher-fearing, law-fearing, everything. It looks like whole human civilization has been built upon fear, as if fear is the greatest virtue they have known. In a way, it's true. All those who dodge fundamental aspects of life, all those who see life in bits and pieces, they are condemned to live in fear. They may cover it. They may cover it by not talking about it, by avoiding it, but it will come to them. This is why Kala Bhairava. Kala means time, Bhairava means a terrifying force. Bhairav means either one who is terrifying or one who has conquered terror and fear within oneself. It's a dimension which is a must. If we create a powerful space, if you create a kshetra or a tirtha, which we have at the yoga center right now, and working on it here still at III. It's a powerful kshetra. That means a space for transformation. Once there is a space like that, you need a kshetrapala. That means one who protects the kshetra. Always, wherever there is any powerful space, always they put up Kala Bhairava as a kshetrapala, because it is a certain system of balancing. It is a way of balancing life and death on one level. It is a way of balancing the positive and the negative. When I say negative, don't think it is harmful. Well, every physical manifestation needs to have positive and negative. While the electricity functions positive, negative, you know, whether it's in the atomic space or wherever, all physical dimensions are between positive, negative, masculine, feminine, male, female. Oh, I'm getting into minefield. Now, who is positive, who is negative? Are you saying women are negative? No, 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 no. Negative is not a bad word. It is just that socially you have built such a context around it. Otherwise, positive, negative are two unavoidable elements of making a physical life. The question is only, in socially, maybe certain things will find approval, certain things will not. Well, everybody lives as if they are not going to die. So everybody will die. Everybody. I mean everybody, okay? Not just those who are virus infected. Everybody shall die. We will bless you with a long life, but you shall die. That's the way life is made. So Kala Bhairava, conceived yesterday within myself. It'll take a few months, and then we will allow many of you to participate in the process of nurturing this process. The temple foundations are being laid. I think it's not working. Can you hear me out there? Those in India, raise your hand so that I know you're hearing me. Okay, thank you. What's happening? Don't… So, as I said, I must be stupid to get pregnant at this stage in my life because this will need lots of work. But you know, if I don't have a project and a purpose, I feel like it's time to go. So, I have something to keep me going. So, Kala Bhairava, unfolding. In many ways, it's going to be very exciting. But you need stability beyond sense, in the sense that beyond what you think is sensible, not sensible, you need a stability beyond that to house something like this, to experience something like this, to become available and to be able to participate in these processes because you need stability. We've been working on you for a long time, but you are linking the sun process with the moon. I mean to say, you are doing the Surya Kriya only in the Purnami days. Only for the full moon you're doing Surya Kriya. No, we taught you all this so that your system will become in sync with the solar cycles. If your natural cycle within the system, your energy cycles, become 4,356-day cycle because this is the longest loop of cycle that you can have in the human body. If this happens to you, you will have a stability beyond all sense. In any kind of situation, no matter what, life or death, something within you will be always stable, balanced. If you don't bring this within you, then in many ways you will become unfit for various processes of life. You may be available for one thing, you will not be available for another thing. So, this inner balance is not just about you being peaceful. If sufficient number of people, I don't want to put the number out, but if enough number of people in a space, in a community, in a town, in a city, in the world, have a cycle like this, that their physical cycles within themselves is running with the 4,356-day cycle, well, all the other fools will become peaceful by themselves as ambient benefits. That if one light lights up, everybody benefits, just like that. This needs some work for many of you, because some of you are doing sadhana, but you don't fix the nature of your mind. When I say you don't fix the nature of your mind, we gave you 3 to 5 powerful tools in inner engineering. You must make this a living reality within you. You thought it was a fanciful lesson. Why I'm saying this is in the last couple of days, people are… they're always coming, but something significant came my way a couple of days ago, that People are always, they're like these McMinnville cockroaches in the drain, they're always nibbling at something. They nibble at something somewhere and suddenly it excites them a little bit. And they come and tell me, Sadhguru, this new teaching I have found, Sadhguru, you must acquaint yourself, this is the thing you must read. I say, okay. Not because there is nothing that I should read, but I've been reading this, absolutely. About this I don't have to read anything, about that I'm willing to read. So, this is because people have still not grasped what those 5 simple principles were. They think it is a lesson that they learned and they forgot and they had a good experience and now they're struggling with life because now they're back to reality. Sadhguru, with his inner engineering process, had taken them out of reality, now they're back to their miserable reality. I want you to understand this, when you are out of your misery, you are touching reality of your existence. Now, you're once again a psychological case. And of course, you are changing the course of your life every few days or every few months, depending on what your cycle is, because new ideas are coming, new emotions are coming. So Kala Bhairava, you must understand, Kala Bhairava means, for you, the simple thing is, you live with the background foil of your life always as death. This is not my morbid idea, this is the way creation is. Either you live in this creation or you must go somewhere else where there is no death. People tell you heavenly life is eternal. You could try. Right now, the world situation, I know, if I say death and laugh, people think I'm some kind of an evil force. It's up to you. It's up to you. Whether you roll towards your death laughing or crying, it's up to you. I'll leave that to you. So there is a 12-year process. Those of you who value your life, not value you the drama that you have created in your life. Those of you who genuinely value your life, strive in some way to be a part of this. It will mean something that… it will have a dimension beyond your understanding, beyond anything that you've thought of. So, it's my wish and my blessing, everybody should be part of it, the whole world should be part of what is Kala Bhairava, not necessarily what I am doing, but they must be part of Kala Bhairava, because if they do not understand, the time is rolling without your permission. And time will roll on beyond your body. Nothing wrong with the dead. I have a lot of work to do with the dead, because dead means who? Somebody who dropped their body. Dropped my body means what? Somebody, honest people, who pay back their loan, all right? The body is a loan from this planet, you pay it back. Somebody pays back the loan, after that nobody pays any attention to them. That's not a good way to conduct a civilization. Like some people are telling me, Sadhguru, you're no good because you don't have any credit worthiness. What this means is I have not taken any loan in my life. Now this is a problem, I don't have a loan. Because people think their life is a transaction, unfortunately. Transactions are there to sustain life, but life is not a transaction. Life is a phenomena. Either you experience it or you get lost in your transactions. Transactions of money, transactions of wealth, transactions of love, transactions of relationships, it's up to you. But life is a phenomenal process. Either you experience that, ride that, or be lost in your transactions. This is all there is. This happened in Nevada. There was a Indian Indian means not like me, in America there are different kinds of Indians. It was somebody's mistake, but it stuck on. A Native American chief came to the bank, met the bank manager and said, "See, I need $200 just for 2 months, I will pay back." The bank manager looked at him and said, "Chief, you need security to take a loan. What have you got? How many horses do you have?" The chief said, "I have 500 horses." Then the bank manager said, "Fine," and gave him $200 with 500 horses as security. And after a couple of months, after this money was paid back, the bank manager came to know the chief won the state lottery, $120 million. So now the bank manager with his assistants made a trip to the reservation and, "Chief, you got loads of money now, you must put it in our bank." The chief asked, "How many horses do you have?" So, you got nothing, all you got is some time. Either you understand the phenomena of time, of kala, and how it rolls on, doesn't seek your permission, doesn't need anybody's permission, it just rolls on. Well, either you ride it or you get crushed by it. This is all the choice. So, Kala Bhairava is in the process. See, time rolled on and my batteries went off. That's all. No big drama about that, okay? Please, if you have questions.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. I'm a very emotional person. My emotions are exaggerated in both positive and negative ways. However, my mother is the complete opposite. She doesn't express her emotions at all. Although I feel I'm much more lively and interesting to be around, my mother is better composed to handle various situations. Which is better?
You're asking me whether it is better to have a diarrhea or a constipation. Let me tell you the two pros and cons of the two situations. If you have a diarrhea, you need a free toilet always. That is, nobody else should be using it. Because when you need to use it, time runs too fast. That's why it's called runs. The inconvenience of going to the toilet, but also you have the relief of, If you keep hydrating yourself, diarrhea is quite an okay feeling, at least you're free of shit. But it's inconvenient, it's a little messy if the convenience of toilet is not around. Constipation, very composed look. This is why a lot of people are having problems with me because their idea of a yogi or a sage or a mystic is from a calendar image, Sivakashi, where there must be a constipated look on your face. Well, because I don't look constipated, they are having doubts. Is he really a yogi? Because he's not. So constipation is a more composed atmosphere naturally, but slowly shit will hit the ceiling. Is this the only two ways? That either diarrheal problem or constipation problem? No, there is a healthy way to be, where only once or twice a day you go to the toilet, rest of the time you're fine. There is a way to be, there's a way to be healthy also. That's what we are talking about constantly. What do you think? This is not about your emotions and this, but that is an important and basic aspect, very basic, rudimentary, that you're emotionally balanced. If you want to touch any other larger phenomena of life, the most important thing is you're emotionally balanced. Why you think we are going about… You need to understand this much. For those of you who are constantly having struggles within yourself, I'm telling you, well, I definitely do not look like a person who will invest myself into something that doesn't work, because I could have made anything work. I am not a yogi because I cannot be a businessman. I am not a yogi because I cannot be an academic. I am not a yogi because I cannot be a scientist. I am not a yogi because I cannot be a political leader. I can be all those things. But I've chosen to be this because I thought this would be the most impactful dimension for this generation of people. That's why.
Sadhguru, you have said that Adiyogi has given 112 ways for different kinds of people to reach their ultimate potential. But in Isha, everyone is doing the same method. This one method covers all the ways, or is it the only way?
What makes you think in Isha everybody is doing the same thing? They're not. Because you need to understand, probably you're referring to the Shambhavi Mahamudra as a basic practice. You must understand Shambhavi is not a destination. Shambhavi is just a doorway. It's not even a path, it's a doorway. If you go out of the door, after that, all the 360 degrees are available to you, not just 112. But first thing is you have to get out of the door. So Shambhavi is just about opening the door. How far you walk, in which direction you walk, it's different. For those who have been there for a significant amount of time, different people are doing different things. Above all, you need to understand. This is the reason why in the past I have said probably it's not been perceived well or perceived properly. I said Shambhavi is not even an initiation, it's more like a consecration of your physical self. That means it creates an ambience. If there is a pleasant ambience, what you do with that pleasant ambience is left to you. Well, you may use this to nurture yourself and grow into a tall human being, or you may party because the ambience is good, or you may become worshipful, you may become prayerful, you may become meditative, you may become whatever. but essentially it's opened up the door in the sense, from the trap of being just a physical creature, it has opened up the door. It is not put you on a path, it has just opened the doors. Once the door is open, which way you go is fine, because my aesthetics does not allow me to tell people what exactly they should do. I do that only to a few people, few unfortunate people who are stuck with me close up. I'm watching how they sit, how they breathe, how they do everything, and I will endlessly pass comments about it, because with them I'm trying to determine where they should go. Well, if they're absolutely willing, it works out very well, but they have their freedom, like to mask or unmask, you have your own freedom. Of course you have a freedom to live or die. Who can stop you? As there is freedom to live, there is freedom to die, of course. How can I take it away from you? You can keep the freedom. So people keep changing their minds because they like one thing, they don't like another thing. They like this step, they don't like the next step. So of course they take a backward step, and again they like another step and they don't like the next step. So this is a certain seesaw life, up and down and up and down and up and down. Well, this is their karmic process. It's my aspiration that whatever the nature of your karma, you must be able to walk on top of it, not burrow into it. If you burrow into it, believe me, every one of you have so much muck. When I say muck, I'm talking about material for fertilization. It's not yet matured, that's all. Filth has to become fertilizer, that'll take some time.